Hello lovelies, welcome back to episode 7 of a Lazy Sunday podcast. I am coming to you from Cornwall on a grey and drizzly day. Today I am drinking rose tea from Alpine Nature. This one here, I just got it on Amazon, and it's so nice. It's literally just like, you can see that little dried roses. I'm drinking that out of my brand new Bunny Mom mug, which was a gift from my mom, and it has on the back me and all of my past and present little bunny friends. So very sweet and very much appreciated. So if you haven't already, click like and subscribe. It will be very much appreciated, and you will be notified when a new video comes out, because it's a little bit sporadic at the minute. Otherwise, grab a cozy or naughty drink and let's get started. Weeks later, and my hope was to film last weekend, but I had some family visiting me in lovely Cornwall, and it was really nice to see them, especially after lockdown. We couldn't really see anyone. I was hoping this weekend to have a little guest with me, because I was planning to see my lovely friend Rachel, but COVID problems, that just didn't happen. So I will wrangle her into that at some point in the future when I can actually go see her. First of all, I just want to say thank you for 100 subscribers. I am amazed. That might seem small to some people, but for me, I am kind of expected to get about 20 and that be it, but it's not happened that way at all. 100 is a milestone I never really expected to reach, so thank you so much for that. There is a little bit of a thank you for that at the end. If you stay till the end, you will see, and not much in the way of knitting. I've been working little bits here and there. I did bring my project from work to finally show you, so I'm not just waving a swatch at you again. So there is quite a little bit of knitting on that to show you. And I have done a lot of knitting on the Sims, because I bought the knitting expansion pack, and I've pulled me back in full force. That's pretty much how I've been spending most of my free time recently. So yeah, can't really show you that though, can I? It's just knit some socks on the Sims, really. There are no FOs this week, so we are going to skip straight over and head straight into whips. The first being, which one do I pick first? We'll go with the blanket. I've had a rejig around with my projects and a reorganise, because some of them, and some still are, just in plastic bags. So because I only have a few sort of project bags, so there's, limited real estate, and the one at work just sort of stays at work usually, so it's not in a bag, so I brought it home in a plastic bag today. So this is my Frida Kahlo bag from Amelia Joy on Etsy, and that has a couple pins on there, my little bunny witch, a freebie that I got, I think, with my Gilmore Girls bag, and it says she turned her can'ts into cans and her dreams into plans, which I quite liked, and I thought it suited Frida Kahlo. And then my Feminines pin there from Kelly Connor Designs, which you'll see her bag that I bought that with in a minute. In here used to be my Ripple butt shorts. I thought about frogging those, but I have done a little bit on there, not really enough to show you, so I might not frog them. I might just tick on them slowly, and when I've got some progress I'll show you. But they are now being housed in my Gilmore Girls bag, and in here is my Cozy Memories blanket, which of course I didn't do what you're supposed to do with the Cozy Memories and use up scraps. I bought more yarn because any excuse to buy more yarn. So all I have done on that is one little square. So I've started a second row. This is all using, so the story behind this, if you haven't seen the earlier episode, is I work in a wool shop here in Cornwall, and quite often customers will come in and put colours together. And sometimes it's multiple customers, sometimes they're like one person will buy one ball and one person will buy another. And then when it comes to restocking, I see all these colours together that I might not have picked, but I think it's quite nice actually and they need to be something. So that's what happened here. It was two separate customers bought two lots of wool, and the colours that they picked between the two of them looked so good together, and I wanted a blanket in them. I just saw it in front of me like a vision. So I am using the Starcraft double knit for this, just the special basic range, and that is in colourway Denim, Silver, Grey, Dandelion, and I think Copper. Let me check on the last two. So they come in balls that look like this, and this is Dandelion, and the other one is Copper. I was right. So again, I'd done a repeat of my colours last time I showed you, so these are what I had done. So all I've done really is this square here, but I will be following the same colour repeat, just off one. So next will be a grey, and then a daffodil, and then a dandelion even, and then a copper, and then above the copper will be the denim. So bear with me. Mad hair in my eyeballs. The next thing I have to show you might not even really be worth showing yet, but we can talk about it, so it's fine. I am making a little teeny tiny Groot toy for my nephew, and again I'm using Starcraft double knit for that in the colour Mocha. All I have, again, might not be worth showing you, but it's fine. All I have done is his little leg. I made it, I think, on Thursday, last thing at work, just to get an eye for the colour. The pattern I am using is from Etsy, and it is Kiwi Crochet, I believe. It will all be linked below. Again, I won't be linking directly to Ravelry for obvious reasons, but if I can't find an alternate link, I will list the name and designer of the pattern, so you can go find it yourself if you so wish, but I don't want to send anyone to Ravelry and put anyone in any sort of discomfort or even danger. So so that's all I've got of him so far, just a little leg. I imagine he'll at least have two legs when I see you next, so that is that. Next we will move on to my Zweig. You'll notice a theme here. There isn't much done. So this is being housed in my Kelly Connor Designs drawstring pink corduroy bag with its little feminist tag on there, which matches the pin on my Frida Kahlo bag. This project is being knit in, sorry if I didn't mention, it is the Zweig by Caitlin Hunter. It's a project I've been wanting to do for a while but didn't quite have the confidence to do until I saw it in person, and I just knew I had to cast it on. It is a little bit new for me. I've never done colour work before, and I've never done lace work before, and both of those are on this project if you are not familiar. just taking my time with it, not putting any pressure on myself so I can actually enjoy it and not stress out about it. So the colours I am using for this project are my very own in my shop Pancakes with Kiki from Lazy Sunday Yarns over on Etsy. Obviously will be linked below. And just an undyed skein to go with that for a nice contrast. So all I have done, I think when I saw you last, here's my lace work. I think I was about here on this little tip here. So I have done probably about an inch worth of knitting on that, which this is one I have to sit down and really concentrate on. So it doesn't get picked up very often. And when I do pick it up, I really, really have to concentrate on it. So an inch worth of knitting in 3 weeks, I'm quite proud of myself for. But it's going to take a long time. Once I get past the colour work yoke and the lace work yoke, it's all, I believe, just sort of stuck in it stitch, so it will zoom along and I'll have a jumper in no time. So this bit is just the little sluggy bit at the first, at the start even. But I am really enjoying it. It's nice to have something a bit more challenging because quite often I cast on plain knit patterns, and as beautiful as a plain knit is, it can get quite boring when that's all you're knitting, so it's quite nice to have something a bit more challenging to go to. And I don't think, ignore the lifeline, because that, if you didn't see the last episode, I had to pull all my lace work back. I'd done quite a lot of it and I made a mistake and couldn't figure it out. So I have been adding lifelines every increase round, or the row before every increase round, just so I don't have to take it all back again. So I'm quite proud of myself and my lace work. And then again, flashy floats, because that's what we seem to do here. I'm quite impressed with my floats as well, considering it's the first time I've done colour work. Nothing too complicated, but it doesn't need to be too complicated. It's pretty enough as it is. So hopefully, I'm feeling a bit more confident with it now, so hopefully I'll have a bit more to show you next time. But only time will tell, who knows. Sims might take over. My last whip to show you this week is my Felix Cardigan by Amy, just reading my notes, Amy Christoffers. I am using Starcraft Aran to do that with wool, the big 400g balls. Nice big giant squishy ball here. And that is in the grey Jazz Nep colourway, so it's this beautiful sort of mid-tone grey with these multicolour speckles to it, and I have been eyeing this colourway up at work since I started there, really. I think they introduced this colour just after I started, and since then I've been staring at it on the shelf just waiting for the project to find me. So when I saw the Felix cardigan version, because I knit a lot of jumpers, so I'm trying to add a few cardigans in there as well. When I saw the Felix cardigan version, I knew that's what it had to be. So, as I said last episode, I left this at work, so I do have quite a little bit to show you, because it is a good, I think, almost a month's worth of work now, so bearing in mind that is only while I'm at work. I do not tend to bring this home. So I have just finished the yoke for this, or I'm just about to finish the yoke and separate for the sleeves. So one thing I love about this is the sort of yarn over detailing on the raglan sleeves. So pretty, and I'm just about to finish this. I wasn't quite sure on the sizing. I have made it a little bit oversized. It might be a little bit too oversized, but who doesn't love a big snuggly cardie, so it should be okay. And yeah, I'm just in love with it. Look at the colour, how that's knitting up. And I think what I might do with the buttons is pick out buttons that are the same, but in different colours, which we have quite a few options for that in work. So I'll try and pick out some some of these beautiful colours in the neck there. Oh, so this wool it's mostly acrylic. It has, it's 77% acrylic, 20% wool, and then 3% viscose, which I believe would probably be the nep that is the viscose there. But it's just a pleasure to work with, and the beauty of the acrylic that's in there is it's very easy to wash and maintain. So might not be the most luxurious fibre, but is a very simple fibre to use and work with and wash when you're done.
So, deep breath, have a sip of tea and a break. It's quite difficult to drink with balance bags. You've got a bag attack in your face every time you drink.
We will move sort of straight onto and zoom straight past stash enhancement. I as I mentioned last episode, I am saving for a new sofa because our sofa is completely destroyed from us forcing it into our tiny cottage, and I also this week had to fork out a lot of money for a new fridge and a new freezer because the little gorgeous tiny baby boy decided to destroy my fridge and eat its wire. It was very old and it was very secondhand, so it was probably due a replacement anyway. Just wasn't something I'd really budgeted for at this moment in time, but it's fine. We've done it, we've got them, it's sorted. Has meant that I haven't bought any more yarn though. The little bit of stash enhancement I do have were a gift from a lady at work. I work in a market in Truro, and so there's our wool stall, and there's a couple other stalls in the market as well. One of the ladies in there is absolutely lovely, and she's one of my favourite people who I work with, and just in general anyway. She's good, hasn't got a bad word to say about anyone. She is a knitter, but she likes her basic projects, and she bought herself some wool I'm trying to keep the crinkle down as much as possible. She bought herself some wool to make a blanket that she just never quite got round to, and she said the yarn was so fine. She likes chunky, quick knits, and the yarn was so fine she found it too slow and was quite achy on her hands. So she's gifted me the wool, and there's quite a lot of it, and I think I'd quite like it to be maybe a garment, but I'm not sure. So it's not anything I've ever really heard of before. It's so crafty, and it's wavy yarn I think maybe that's the colourway. Yeah, so the colourway, I've got two different colours. The one I'm about to show you is Crystal, and the second one is... The second one is Greyscale. So this is So Crafty Wavy yarn, and it has this little sort of wavy, almost a slubbiness to it. Technical word, slubbiness. And I think it will knit up the most textural piece. It will be amazing. I'm not sure of the contents. It is 87% cotton, and you can feel it's very cottony. And it is 13% polyamide, and I believe it's supposed to be a double knit. It's supposed to be knit on 4.5 needles, so I think that to me sounds like probably a double knit. But I think I might find chunky, I'll have to do some swatches, but I might find a chunky pattern to do with it and knit it on a really loose gauge. So I think that in a like really loosely knit summer sweater would be gorgeous, and I've definitely got enough to make one, maybe two sweaters out of this. So it might not happen for a while, but that will one day become something, and I will never turn down free yarn if people are like, I have yarn, I need to get rid of it, do you want it? Yes, yes, please. And then I haven't shown you the second one, so that is Greyscale. Again, have no idea what these will be, but they will be something one day. And that's it for my enhancement. I just was saving for a cap, and also my washing machine broke yesterday as well, so I've got to fork out some money for that, so don't anticipate any stash enhancement anytime soon, unfortunately. Last but definitely not least, I have no yarn updates for the shop, haven't dyed anything else. I am out of yarn, undyed yarn. I've run out, and so I won't be dyeing up anymore for a while because unforeseen circumstances with the kitchen. I'm pointing to the kitchen in case you don't know. Little bit, you know, on a budget at the minute, so can't really justify buying any undyed yarn as of yet, especially since there's so much in the shop still waiting for your nice little nitty fingers to get your hands on. But I did want to show you, because I think there's a few new viewers floating around here. I did think I would show you what is in the shop currently. So, first off, we have Magic. This was originally called something different, but for copyright reasons, it was inspired by a film, one of my favourite films, and for copyright reasons it had to be changed, but it is now called Magic, and I think it's the perfect name for it really, because purple, these purples and these blues are what I really associate with quite a lot of magic. So just purple's a very magical colour really, isn't it, I think. And I have 3 of those in the stock. I have 3 of those in the shop. All of my yarn, as of right now, is fingering weight, and it is a 75. Oh, all but one that I'm going to show you is a fingering weight, and it is 75/25 superwash merino nylon. So all but one of what I'm going to show you is that base. So this is Magic. So 3 of those in the shop. Next is my newest colourway, and that is Ostra, or Ostra, however you want to say it. Say it as you please. And that is this lovely pink and green, vibrant, springy colourway. And Ostra is the spring, I think Nordic spring, no, pagan goddess of spring. And she talks to bunnies. So how could I not dye yarn inspired by her? This lovely little lady right here has got some really lovely bright pinks and sort of springy greens, and some sort of salmony colours in there as well. It is one of my favourites in the shop, and there are 2 of those in stock. Next is, oh, I didn't bring that one with me, bear with. So next is, sorry about that, Blue Flamingo. I thought this was out of stock. There was one hiding in my stock drawer over there. This was the very first thing I ever dyed. It was the inspiration for me starting a shop, because I tried this as a little practice and fell in love. I studied textiles at university, and my favourite days were the dyeing days where I'd go in and dye my yarn. And it brought it all back for me, and I was like, yeah, this is what I can do this, and this is what I want to do. So this last little gal here is probably quite special to me, so whoever gets this, you are very lucky. But as it was my first sort of experimental one, it is a slightly lower price than the rest on there, and that is the very last Blue Flamingo in the shop. So it is this bright flamingo pink colour with flicks and hints of this blue sort of splash in there, and I love it so much. We then have Cornish Shore. This was a bit of a one of a kind. It was supposed to be, basically I dyed a colour I wasn't very happy with and I overdyed it and now I'm in love with it. However, there's not very many notes on this, so it's going to take a little bit of messing around to try and make this again. So there is one of these left and it is probably the only one of it that will ever be made again. So if you like it, snap it up quickly. And this is Cornish Shore, so it is this tealy colour with these hints of these green flashes, which reminds me of so much of the Cornish sort of sea line and the Cornish sort of hills and greens and things. And then flashes of like red, which you see a lot of like sort of red boats and things on the shore. So it's especially in Portreath where I am, there's quite a lot of boats in the harbour over there. And that's just really what it reminded me of, the shore here, specifically in Portreath, on a really light and bright sunny day when the sea looks so deep and blue. So one of a kind, last one. If you like it, get your hands on it quite quickly. Next we have Cloud Blue. This again is a one of a kind. It was dyed using waste dye left over from a couple of the vats here, and it came out this beautiful minty sort of cloudy colour. That's probably more like it back here. There are 4 of these in stock, so you've got a little bit of wiggle room there, but I wouldn't be surprised if I take one of these from the shop at some point because I just love it so much. It's such a beautiful colour. I don't know if I will ever get it back again, although I would like to try. And then we have Cornflower, another one of a kind, another one dyed using waste dye, because we don't like to waste anything here on Lazy Sunday. And it is this beautiful sort of cornflowery grey blue colour. Again, back here is probably more there, it's probably more true to colour. And there are 4 of those in stock. Nearly there, sorry. So, next one we have, this is the only one we have in the shop that isn't the 75-25 base. This is my Copper Boom mohair base. This is 72% mohair, kid mohair, and 28% mulberry silk. It is so dreamy. I do usually have a 75-25 base in the same colourway, and I knit my Bis Bis beret in one of my previous podcasts with this. It was such a lovely product to work on, and the fabric that the two make together was so dreamy. I'll get that and I'll show you, shall I? So these are the two worked up together. You can see that beautiful halo there, and it's such a dreamy fabric. I was obsessed, and as soon as I can order some more yarn to dye up, there will be some more Copper Boom in the shop, because that is one I can definitely recreate. And I'm thinking about maybe selling kits for the hat. Let me know what you think, if that is something you'd be interested in. And there is 1 of those in the shop. No? 2, stand corrected. Then last little stretch here, we have one of my original colourways before I launched the shop, Luke Can Waltz. This is inspired by Gilmore Girls. You'll notice the theme on this podcast. I love anything and everything to do with Gilmore Girls. This is inspired by Liz's wedding in the show, if you're familiar with it at all. And it's one of what I consider one of Luke and Lorelai's first dates. And they waltz together at the wedding, at Luke's sister's wedding. And Lorelai is in this beautiful pink dress with a sort of pink and green flower crown on, and Luke is stood next to her in this striking black suit, and the colours together just So that was the inspiration behind this here, and I love it. It's one of my favourites in the shop. Pink and green together, just something about it really works for me. So it's definitely some colours I use fairly often. And that is one of 3 in the shop. So then I have one sock set. This is called Starry Night, inspired by Van Gogh's Starry Night. The deep blues and the bright yellow mini there. This is the last one in stock in the shop. It was a little bit of an experiment. So as much as I would like to dye it again, if I were to dye it again, it would probably be...
What are you doing, darling? That's a bit better.
If I were to dye it again, it would probably differ just a little bit, so it wouldn't exactly look like this. Nothing ever does really repeat the same way with independent dyeing, because it's impossible to do. I would recommend that if you're using any yarn, any independent dyed yarn generally, not just my own, for a sweater or a larger project, then you're better off alternating skein so you don't get any harsh lines in your knitting. And then we have one of a kind little mini, 50-gram mini in this sort of slubby crinkly base. I'm not entirely sure what this is. It was, again, when I started dyeing and I couldn't get enough, I was dyeing anything and anything I could get my hands on. And this was some wool left over from my uni days. So I know it's wool, but I don't know what exactly the content is. So it is this rainbow one of a kind skein, and that is literally, that's going to be the last one ever made of that. So if you do like it, please snag it. And then we have another waist knot, one of a kind here in a mint. I don't know why, considering I dye lots of sort of pinks and bright colours, there are a lot of blues I suppose, but all of my waist dyes turn out like a light blue sort of colour. So this is the third of those, and it is mint, and that is pretty much true to colour as best as I can get it. And then the last, but certainly not least, is my absolute favourite in the shop, and you have seen this already, and that is Pancakes with Kiki. This is what I'm using to knit my Zweig, because I dyed up a big batch of this and I could not resist. It is my favourite, my inspiration. Kiki's Delivery Service is one of my favourite films. It is just this beautiful, deep but light navy, sky blue, black, red, speckly goodness, and I am obsessed with it. And there are currently 3 of these left in the shop, but you can be damn sure that when I get more yarn to dye up, there will be more of this coming. So that is everything in my shop right now.
I'm going to pick them all up and try and show them all together. I don't really know why. Why not, basically. So,
this is all of my gorgeous babies, my gorgeous yarn babies, together. And finally, I want to just again say massive thank you to anyone who is watching and who has subscribed to my podcast. It is very much appreciated, and know that whenever you click that little subscribe button, you send a little beam of happiness straight to my heart. And to say thank you for that, and for making it to the end of this nice long rambly podcast, I am offering a little code which I will put on the bottom of the screen here. That is LSY, so Lazy Sunday Yarns, LSY pod 10, and that will get you 10% off in my shop from 17 from from Monday the 17th of August for the following month up until, 4 weeks, up until the 15th of September. So there's my little thank you for subscribing and watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you haven't and you do, please like this episode and click subscribe if you want to know when I post new videos. Thank you so much and have a lovely day. I will see you next time. Bye bye.